there. Thank you for joining us for another time with Thriving in the Lockdown. I'm not quite sure where you are, probably in your house, in the car, at your office, but I'm excited that we have your airtime at this time. In a few minutes, I'm going to be taking you through the subject, leveraging social media for business. I am quite convinced that by the time we're done, you'd be able to reposition yourself in this time of the lockdown. Social media is quite an interesting space, and if you agree with me, in the last 2 months, a lot of people have been forced to focus in that direction owing to the lockdown, of course, and people who are not exactly social media friendly have had no choice but to turn into that space because, it's the latest space for news, it's the latest space for entertainment, it's the latest space to keep up with what is going on. And the big question would be, why would I necessarily have to turn to social media for business? Now, what is more popular for a lot of people is that the social media space is an engaging space for exchanging social, spending that time of socializing with people. But more than that, it's wider because it includes your website, it includes apps and robotic communications. Basically, the idea is vast. However, for the scope of this discourse, we're going to stay within the general and the popular idea of social media, as it were, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the likes. The big reason why we must be in this space is because business has to do with people. And on the average, I can tell you that we have about 3.2 billion people in social media space. Facebook 2019, 2.6 billion people in that space of Facebook. Instagram 2019, early 2020, 1 billion people in that space. Twitter, about 321 million people in that space. Talk of a buying market. Starting with how to leverage social media for business, I think the first place we'll start is called Who Are You? Now, Who Are You is all about clarity and being distinct to the people you are trying to sell to. Clarity is attractive. Quite a number of people get into that space in social media and they are lost. They are not clear whether they are offering a service, they are not clear whether they are offering a product, they are not clear whether they are into social commentary, as it were. However, nobody buys for the many things that any company or any brand seemingly can offer. We buy because there is a clear idea to what they offer. So we're looking at a brand or thinking of a brand in the terms of clarity. Understanding that we are dealing in a space that will have quite a number of people, and we're talking billions of people, it's important that you find clarity, and that's going to help you stand out in the sense of market differentiation. So it's important that you find clarity. Moving on quickly, the next thing I need you to understand is that you need to find your space. So now, yes, there is Facebook. Yes, there is Twitter. Yes, there is Instagram. Yes, there is LinkedIn. Yes, there is Telegram. Yes, there is WhatsApp. A lot of space. However, you need to find your space. Now, take this and understand this. If you got a pen, write it down. Everything that is going to happen online is actually predicated on the system that works offline. Okay, so if you were offline, you are going to have a business located in a particular place, right? You're not going to have your business everywhere. Even if you were going to spread, you will first spread tactically and you will choose your spots wisely. I have said this to say that since we have said we can leverage on social media, we are not saying be everywhere. You have to find a place where people are sure they can find you. But most importantly, that space must be very comfortable for you. So this is it. If Facebook is your game, stay there. If Instagram is your game, do very well there, especially if you have to do a lot of pictures. You get? If Twitter is your thing, you can keep it short, you can keep it really entertaining, then stay there. You cannot be everywhere. Now, the third thing we have to look at, I call it be human. Be humans. Now, humans sell to humans. A lot of people get into that social media space and they are very rigid, in quote. As we continue to seemingly retrieve ourselves from our real world, people are gradually losing a sense of emotion. People are gradually losing a sense of empathy. And it is important that when you come into that space, you are able to bring a lot of humanness to the space. You are able to bring a lot of feel to the space. You are able to bring a lot of emotions to the space. If people are not drawn towards your communication, if people do not feel the sense of being emotional in that space, it will not work. For instance, you could find from time to time there are a number of trends that you could find on the internet. Your creative ability tapping into general conversation is human enough. Okay? Your creative ability tapping into that space is human enough. So you would need to be creative enough to tap into that space. Moving forward, the fourth thing I need you to know is that there are basic tools. Almost everything you can think about on the internet has been condensed into an app. Almost everything you can think about has been condensed into an app. So this means that you can do it yourself. Editing pictures have been condensed into an app. Making videos have been condensed into an app. Recording, you have all sorts of podcast applications available. So it means that in creating your products, in designing your services to be attractive enough, you need to use basic tools. So you go on the internet, you'll find them from Canva to Shortit and the likes of them. They are all available for you to take advantage of as you go forward in that space. Okay, so people want to see that you are able to design your products in such a way it's appealing to them. So with pictures, you can find those apps. People want to be able to see that you can have videos around what you do that allow for more information being sent out. Now, sales is a number game. You need a lot of people to sell to, so it means that you have to be in the number game. And I'll quickly tell you how to put your numbers together, which is pretty much easy. First, if you want to get into your numbers, you can do that organically. You can do that using paid ads, sponsorship, or you can do that using collaboration. And let me quickly break this down for you. Organically, basically, is having to put it there and hoping that you will get, some interactions and engagement. However, that's not exactly the way to go. On your Facebook profile, for instance, for those of you who have Facebook profiles, some of you have maxed out your Facebook profile, but this is the bad news. Facebook shows all of what you do to about within 3 to 5% of the people in that space. And then if you move over to your page, Facebook, in the past, they used to do 50%. So 50% of the people on your page would see whatever you put on that page. However, at this time, because there is a need for them to monetize, it has been cut down to a very tiny percentage of 7. So it means that only 7% of all of the people you have in your social media space get to see what you do. And now that's not a good place for you because you need to have more people see what you do. In that case, it means you have to go to paid ads. So you want to use the paid ad strategy to boost your post, as it were, to a larger number of people, which you can choose your preference and then target. The other one is collaboration. So it means that you can get somebody who is a higher brand to influence what you do, or get a higher enterprise to influence what you do. The sixth thing I want us to look at is net worth. Come on, if we are already on the internet, why must we service only those that are within our locality or within our geography? We can service people beyond our locality, beyond our geography, and then we can use all of those seeming tools from sponsored advertising and influencer marketing to get to all of those people. But the big part is this. So look through all of what we have talked about, and then we settle at this point, the sales funnel. Now you must learn how to pick the cherry right. You agree with me? If I have a product to sell, there are actually 3-point-something billion people on the internet. However, not all of them are interested in my product, right? So I don't want to put myself out there, expend energy, expend time to people who may not buy into me. So what do? We pick our cherry by using the sales funnel. Now I'll teach you something. There is an issue with Facebook, there's an issue with Twitter, and there's an issue with Instagram. All of these platforms you cannot exactly control. I've already told you when we looked at the last point that you have your visibility streamed down to about 7% or thereabout. However, in creating your sales funnel, what you can do is up your game, move all of this traffic from point A to a point where your visibility can be shown to everybody. One of the most important funnels you can have, or one of the most important channels you can have in this sense, is your email. Yeah, you can use Telegram, you can use WhatsApp, because every time you send a message there's a higher possibility that everybody within your space can see your information, can see the products you are trying to sell to them, and can buy into you, unlike the other parts. And when you are creating this funnel, some of the ways people can create a funnel is to create, for instance, an ebook. You can create an ebook that is addressing a pain point. You can create an ebook that is offering some kind of training, especially if you are in a service-driven environment. So it's offering some kind of training, or you can do a free seminar or something. And when you do that, it's going to be organized in such a way people who are interested in what you do, trying to assess it, have to give you basic information. That basic information might be phone number, that basic information might be their email addresses, but the whole idea is to get them into one space where you are more in charge. And I recommend that you have them funneled down into your email list. And we're going to be talking about the next part, which is copywriting. Now, copywriting has to do with laying out your information or your sales pitch. It's basically a sales pitch. So you are designing stuff that you're going to use to pitch to people. Apparently, it's the internet. You're going to write. You are not going to be there all the time to talk to the people. Hence, you want to create a write-up, a copyright, which is going to be a sales pitch. Now, one of the things you have to understand with copyright is it has to be very engaging. It has to be able to take the people on a mental journey, show them clearly that you are capable of solving the problems that they have. And you have to understand this. One of the three for products today is that people are not just looking for needs. They are looking for needs laced with many wants. People have phones basically to make phone calls, but the fact that they can snap pictures and make videos and have plenty of the app makes it quite important for them. You get, so you want to design your service and product, and more especially in your copyright, allow them to know, yes, I can solve your need, and I can solve quite a number of wants around it. And then the last part you have to know is when you have them in your sales funnel, you have been able to design a sales copy, sell, sell, and sell. So you have products, sell them. You have services, sell them. Consistently design how to sell these things. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with this point. I know we are in the lockdown. I know it can be disorganizing, but by all means, be brave with your life. Get up, put your acts together, and get yourself on the internet and make your business run. It's just a lockdown, it's not a knockdown. Thank you.